a mystic, slow transfiguration works. Savitri is arguing with death. Death was sarcastic. He was telling her that the ideal which she was keeping in front of her is nothing but the melody of mind. It is her imagination. It is a sickness. There is nothing like an ideal. Her passion, her love, her joy, the idealism of life, all that is but a shadow, is but a creation of mind, and it will dissolve with death. Nothing will remain there. In fact, Savitri is afflicted with this ideal. Soon, when she slips into death, all that will disappear and she will fall calm, silent, tranquil, without any affliction. That is the kind of an argument death is making to tell Savitri that she must give up her pursuit of taking her love back. It is not possible. It is not in the nature of things at all. Savitri tells death, yes, what you are seeing is true. It is a truth. Certainly it is a truth. All will disappear with death, in death. But the truth which you are declaring is a truth that slays. I am going to assert the truth that will save, that saves everybody. It is that truth which is what I am proclaiming here. The problem is, Savitri tells death, that he is looking at a half-finished world. He has not seen the entire course of evolution in time. He has not even seen the germination of a tree from the seed. And what he is talking, therefore, is only very partial. His conclusions are based on a thing which he has not seen at all. He has no idea about the march of God, God's march in greatness, God's greatness marching forward. He has no idea about that. The paradox is death himself assures immortality. It is by the mechanism of death that life is making progress towards immortality. The final progress of life shall be in the disappearance of death. At the moment, death is an instrument towards immortality, and he has been playing that role. But a stage has to come now when death should not be necessary for life's progress. There is a light standing at the doors of nature, of immortality, and surely a brighter dawn is to appear here. The brighter dawn who will bring the everlasting day. The day which will not know shadow. It will not cast a shadow. It is that day the dawn is going to bring. And that dawn is at the doorsteps of nature. Our spirits, it is death, always breathe the secret air of happiness, of felicity, whether it is good or bad, evil or something which is auspicious, right or wrong, happy or sorrowful. Through all the stages, constantly we breathe the secret air of felicity, of happiness. That joy is there everywhere. That experience, it is the experience of the soul itself. The evil and good, virtue and sin, they are aspects for a certain purpose in the nature of things, and it is in them also one can experience the bliss, the happy joy of that thing. Wisdom and joy prepare perfect crown for us, and the crown is, it is the arrival of a superior being. Superman calls to the thinking man. Man himself is advancing to Superman, and Superman is ready to enter into the scheme of things. Immortal bliss opens her wide eyes. She has already opened her eyes, and she is about to enter this creation into space, into time. She looks down, that immortal bliss looks down upon the laboring force, the force of nature which is taking things forward, laboring for the progress. It is that bliss which is looking upon nature. Truth sun is poised on creative joy. This is what death must understand. And it is not an ideal. It is in that truth sun bringing the creative joy that love shall flourish, flower, grow. This is the object, this is the aim of the entire creation. From the void came the creation, from nothing the creation came. And it is not going to stop here with man. It has to make further progress. It has to go on, and the entire thrust, the laboring force is striving for that purpose. A mystic slow transfiguration works. A mystic slow transfiguration works towards that objective, towards that aim.